Tennessee Whiskey. This is one that I suggested that we look at. We're going to be looking at it at our guitar breaks that we're doing in a little while as well.
Yeah, man.
I filmed a video for this one like 4 years ago or something.
Oh, wow, has it been out that long?
Yeah, and it did like over 1 million views, which is
amazing.
You know, that's big for me these days.
Oh, that's amazing, man.
And there's something about this song. There's something about its kind of unique appeal, and I wanted to do another video on it and look at some of the electric guitar parts,
sure, man.
as well as the acoustic parts as well, because it was a very entry-level beginner tutorial I did before, so this works really well as a part too.
Yeah.
So Tennessee Whiskey is a country song written by Dillon and Linda Hargrove, originally recorded by American country music artist David Allan Coe for his album of the same name. This is like a cover of that was done by Chris Stapleton that they just did in like sound check or like just in a jam.
Oh, wow.
And then they ended up, let's get a take of it. I don't even think it was ever even released as a single properly.
Good Lord.
What even is a single anymore?
Right, right, very true.
Like, let's press some singles. It's just that it's all on Spotify. If it's on the album, it's there. Yeah. They don't really exist anymore. Hugely based on Etta James' I'd Rather Go Blind. In fact, they have exactly the same progression.
Right.
Almost the same kind of lead part as well, which is interesting because this same song is kind of 2 hit songs. I love that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because what makes them different? And of course, they're hugely different songs from the lyrics and point of view. But of course, I mainly focus on, and we mainly focus on, the guitaring. So we have this simple lead line, which of course you can play on electric or acoustic. A major pentatonic.
Yes.
Of course, this is a really movable shape, which I like to think about this. How do you think of this shape? I kind of think about it like a frying pan.
I've never heard of it like that. I can see what you mean, though.
But the major pentatonic, and those 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're just super movable.
Yeah. I mean, one thing as well, you can kind of, if you were to have a capo on that 2nd fret,
which I did on my my beginner tutorial, covered how that would be a G.
Yeah.
To
but all those notes there,
the progression.
are all there, aren't they?
They're all there.
And it's moving to that B, isn't it? Yeah.
So that's something that I've covered before, and also the progression, just so you don't have to fully watch the original video. 1 bar of A, 3 and a 4 and a 1. 2 bars of B minor, 3 and a 4 and a 1. 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. And you can kind of keep the chords going in between. So you can kind of do that lead line and strum it as well, which is something that a lot of people like to have a go at, but they might struggle with. And this is a good example. It's a good one to have a go at because you've got that breathing.
Always, yeah.
Capo 2nd fret makes it super beginner friendly. The only other thing I'd say on the rhythm side of things is I started off just with this count of 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. But then, of course, we can 1 and da 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 da. And one starting point with a lot of that is actually just mute your strings and see what you could like stick the song on and just do that on a rhythm point of view.
Yeah.
Which I imagine you're thinking about on the lead parts as well sometimes. The rhythm's just as much a part of that.
Absolutely. And because it's highlighting the chords, isn't it? You know,
absolutely,
which we'll get to in a sec, you know.
But yeah, just to finish up on that, I ended up on the rhythm side to complement what you were doing, being really quiet sometimes.
Dynamics.
Maybe when you were down low, and then ending on in the particular jam we did. hitting that A sus2 an awful lot as an embellishment, but just strumming more and strumming louder, particularly when you're really high up and you're louder, basically. And then one nice inversion that I did was this A major, which rather than playing those 3 notes, we move them up to kind of an A bar chord position, but it isn't a bar chord.
Yeah.
To hit the B minor in a similar position, you would have to hit a bar chord. That's something you can do to kind of jam it and make it interesting on the rhythm side of things. What can we do with the lead beyond just playing the
what's
first
cool
few
here,
seconds?
because we've got 2 chords, so we don't have to think too much, which is always a beautiful thing.
Love that.
You know, we don't have to
Hey,
think.
thinking.
But it can make you sound really clever, because basically what the player's doing, I'm assuming it was Chris who played Chris, or mate Chris, who played the...
I think it is, I think he does play.
He's got a Fender Jag in here, so I think he's a jazz master.
He's a guitar singer songwriter for sure.
So there, he's playing that C sharp, which is the 3rd of A. So it's in the chord. It's a chord note, isn't it? You know. So you got there. So it's over an A chord, but hitting that, it sounds really, really nice. You know. And then he's going, when he's playing the B minor chord, he's highlighting the B note itself.
And when you say highlighting, it's just pausing on that note, because any other notes are they're passing notes, they're melody notes, but which note you stay on for any longer length of time really matters.
Yeah.
Because that's where you're creating any dissonance, any tension, and releasing any tension, right?
I like to think of root notes as like full stops. You know, it's letting it breathe.
Or capital letters.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
yeah.
you know, and obviously, like I said, I just said that, you know, magical word chord tone there about when you're hitting that. You know, that's another form. We could think of it as a comma.
Yeah.
You know, but there he's letting it ring out. He's not overplaying or anything like that. It's the riff there. But you can, if you then want to kind of start doing your own little thing and start improvising with it, take that idea. So when you're on the A, there's my hitting the A note. And now I've just finished on that B note.
Yeah.
To say one thing now, I did a boo-boo, but I went with it. So I went to bend.
You bent up.
I don't know why, for some reason. Jet lag. I want to blame jet lag.
No, you went. It's a naughty note, isn't it?
Yeah, I went to a naughty note, and I was like, no. And so then I carried on. I bent that F sharp to a G, which is not good over an A chord, but then I bent it a bit more to G sharp, which is the 7th in the key of A, which will work. so sometimes happy accidents, isn't it? You know.
Well, all you did there was mix major and minor.
Which
really.
You can. Yeah.
And it didn't instantly sound bad. You were just like, oh, that's not the sound we're going for with this. So I'm going to bend up to a note that would be.
But I thought we'd talk about it because
it can happen. And we're literally, this is improvising a lead part. We could just teach the one from the song, but the one from the original recording is probably improvised.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't do this. And that's obviously, so one thing, if people are like, oh, that looks amazing, but it looks like witchcraft, how can you possibly do that? One good thing is just knowing where your octaves of any single note are.
Yeah.
Because this one, we've got kind of, it's based around an A and then going up to a C sharp. And then when we're on a B chord, he's really just hitting B.
Yeah.
It's like B, 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 and then back to A. So if you know where all your B's and A's are, you could do that. And you can kind of do that with just, I think about it as 2 shapes. So one being just the bar chord shape. There's one octave, the second, and then the third. So and then the other one to know would be like a C chord, right? So like that's an A and that's an A. And
So it's
that's
like shape 2 pentatonic and shape 4, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's actually easier than that because it's based on 2 chord shapes. So just a bar chord in A shape bar chord at the 5th fret, 1, 2, 3. And then if you think about the A open string, 12 frets up from that, that's a note that people can figure out relatively easy. Just play a C chord there. And you've got another octave there, which can be quite hard for people to find sometimes. And then the final one is there. And then you've got your 6 per octave, because as soon as you go down to this point again where you're repeating the same shape again, it's there. That's a repetition there. And that's where you can start to go, because you knew where that A note was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're using shapes, but this gives the shapes something to kind of base around. And then you realise they're all the same shapes repeated. There's 3 shapes really.
Yeah.
The only faff is literally the tuning between the G and the B string, because they're kind of 1 fret different.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
This shape repeating, you can do that an octave up, and then you can do it an octave up again. The only one where it kind of goes wrong, and we're using this rather than like a flat one. Other than that, it's literally like moving a power chord about, really.
Yeah.
So because it's 2 chords and because it's a popular song, it's just a great vehicle to showcase all this other stuff. And as soon as you're learning a song where there's a lot of big changes, like I'm hoping we'll talk about some of our favourite like guitar albums in a bit. Actually.
Okay, yeah.
And one of mine, for example, is Appetite for Destruction, because it's just so like
Absolutely.
Iconic, but also the perfect example of all that kind of high-level rock guitar. Really.
Yeah.
But it's almost like learning about 5 songs in one song, because every time there's a lead break, something changes in the rhythm as well. You know, the first half of Sweet Child of Mine to the second half, different song almost from a lead playing point.
Oh yeah, but it changes key.
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah,
with this, with a 2-chord vamp, we've got a loop pedal down here, so there wouldn't even have to be 2 of us. But even if you just play acoustic guitar and you want something simple to do, this is how we're able to, and why I chose this for guitar breaks, because to do at our guitar event, because if someone literally can only do 2 chords, G and A, they can jam this song, and then we can put them with someone really quite high level, and it's teaching you how can the beginner learn to like know what to do to keep going with the lead, so you can group people together at any level. That's literally how it's done. So that's how we choose songs for that kind of thing, and they can then do any songs that they want. But this one, popular on YouTube, great one for 2 chords for beginners, advanced stuff. That's how you do a song for multi-levels, basically. And that's something we look forward to doing more of.
Oh, should
we have one more outro jam just to show the people how it's done, Mike? How it's done.
For the people.
And I'm going to also vary the chords kind of as much as I can, just to challenge myself. Rather than just stay to this. Yeah. But do your thing.
Let's put the slap back on.
Yeah.
Let's be authentic to the sound.
You count us in, man.
1, 2, 3. just sound quite nice at the end there.
Beautiful.